Right now, you are way too available to distractions and you are not committed enough to your own growth. The more available you make yourself for the things that do not serve you, the more unavailable you become for the life that you actually want. At some point, you have to decide that your potential is so much more important than being seen, liked, or understood. And there is no better time than the present to make that happen. It is time to go ghost on everything that is keeping you average and lock in on what is actually going to change your life, because staying the same is hurting you so much more than the effort to transform ever will. Going ghost is not about disappearing to avoid, it is about disappearing to evolve. Going ghost gets a bad rep because it's usually done to avoid people responsibilities, accountability, but this is different. This is about intentional isolation to reconnect with you. It's not just cutting everyone and everything off forever. If you have seen my videos before, you know I am a huge proponent of doing a life audit. I created a free template for your life audit. I will link it in the description. It will just help guide you. But essentially, you cannot fix something if you're not aware of what needs to be fixed. So before you just decide to ghost everyone and disappear off the face of the earth, remember that this is intentional isolation. Maybe it ends up being a period of total solitude. Or maybe there are some people that you want to keep in this chapter because they do bring you benefit. They are supportive. Maybe you have some habits that suit you that you'd like to carry into your new life. Your life audit will help you to determine that. While you are doing your life audit, there's not a section for it on the life audit template I created, but audit your digital space as well. Unfollow, mute, unsubscribe from anyone and anything that makes you feel small, distracted, or behind. There is a very fine line between inspiration and envy, and that line is super blurry. And you also want to make sure that you're doing things for you, not for likes or validation or acceptance. Going ghost is about protecting your energy from what's no longer serving you so that your next chapter is not contaminated by the distractions from your old one. Are there people who you've outgrown? Are there habits that are not aligned with your priorities? Do you need to start looking for a new place to live, a new work environment? How can you protect and nurture your energy so that this journey you're on can be as supportive as possible? This period of isolation or this period of solitude is not a forever thing, but you are going to have to go through chapters of your life where you have to be selfish and you have to focus on what you need to do in order to achieve the goals that you want to achieve, in order to live the life that you want to live, in order to become the person that you want to become. Let people know the chapter of your life that you're in if you want them to be there on the other side. And if they respond with anything other than the utmost support for your journey, then that person is not meant to be in your life and they just made your life audit so much easier. I know it is so much easier said than done, especially if it's somebody or something that has been in your life for a really, really, really long time, but we naturally outgrow people and places and things, and it hurts, but it is for our utmost good, I promise. This is your cocoon season. Cocoon sounds comfy cozy, even though locking in isn't always comfy cozy. No one needs to understand your grind. Nobody needs to know your goals. Nobody needs to know your vision. Nobody needs to know your mission. Nobody needs to know your plan. Nobody needs to know anything. You don't owe anything to anybody. They will see the results. When you tell people about your goals, you open up space for feedback. People love to hear themselves talk, and they always think they know what's right for you. When you open up that space, you run the risk of getting negative feedback in the form of people's their own doubts, fears, insecurities, skepticism, and their own perceived limitations. And as much as we want to think we are immune to other people's opinion of us, they tend to affect us a lot more than we realize. We internalize their beliefs and they slowly discourage us from going after the thing that we were so excited to tell them about in the first place. So, best to just keep everything to yourself and grind in silence. The piece that I always missed when I locked in was the structure and focus part, which is essentially the entire thing, basically. I'm pretty type B, so I'm just like laid back and loving life all the time. It's a beautiful way of living. It works in certain chapters. It doesn't work so well in other chapters. I know how much my type B people are going to hate hearing this, but you need to be structured. I know. Torment, torture, I'm so sorry. And you need to be focused. I'll go a little bit deeper into it in just a sec. You need to find clarity. What are you working towards? Why Are you working towards it? That why is so important, because on the days when that motivation is missing, on the days when you just want to go right back into your comfort zone is a cage disguised as safety. On the days that you want to just pop right back into that cage, your why is always going to be that driving factor. It should always be in the back of your head. It doesn't have to be this huge world-shattering why. It can just be for you. But why are you doing the things that you're doing? Why are you in this lock-in phase? Why are you prioritizing this goal over this goal? Why are you being so selfish? Why did you cut people off? Why are you doing this? You also need to figure out what you're willing to sacrifice. Unfortunately, in this chapter of your life, in this season, balance is kind of non-existent. When you are locked in, your priorities are in one place, and everything that you do revolves around that goal, around that priority. That is your focus. There are no other distractions. And on that same note, it's important that you focus on one goal. Is it financial? Is it physical? Is it spiritual? Is it mental? Is it emotional? Some goals may fall into multiple categories, but make sure that you are focusing on one very clear goal, because humans cannot multitask efficiently. We can multitask not efficiently, and we overwhelm very easily. If you have recently heard the term flooding the zone at all for any reason whatsoever, it's a tactic used to overwhelm people with so much information that they feel so paralyzed and they end up not taking any action whatsoever. You can flood your own zone. I've done it so many times. You can consume so much information and want so many different things that you end up paralyzing yourself and not taking any action whatsoever. Your energy is going every which way, and when your energy is going in a million different directions, it is really hard to make any kind of notable progress in any of the directions you're trying to go in. For everybody, but especially for my type B friends, I know that this pains you, and I am so sorry, but we have to keep some kind of schedule. I know it's really hard. I get it. But you and I both know that we will not have any kind of structure unless we do that. And stick to it, of course. I've actually enjoyed having a planner, which sounds crazy of me. It sounds crazy, but it's really cute, and that is really, really, really motivating me. And I color-coded it, so it's extra cute. You don't have to make everything so serious. Yes, you're locking in. Yes, you're going ghost. Yes, you're doing all these things to transform your life. But that doesn't mean that you have to get a black planner and everything has to be so monotonous and miserable. Like, still have fun with it. It's still your life. I feel like when these videos pop up, they're always so serious, and the seriousness of the video, I think, sometimes turns people off from wanting to lock in and go ghost and upgrade their life. But like, you can still have a good time. You just have to prioritize certain things and say no to certain things. But still, like, get a cute planner, still live your life. You only live once. But I'm telling you, the cute planner, major key. You cannot transform into the 2.0 version of you while still living like the 1.0 version of you. Unfortunately, self-destruction is part of the process. It's uncomfortable, it's hard, it's really, really weird, and it's so frustrating, but you have to kill, essentially, your old self before you can step into this new life. Your identity is built through repeated actions, which means that it needs to be dismantled in the same way. You are going to feel an insanely strong pull nearly every single day to go back to the old life, to go back to that comfort zone, to go back to that old you, to go back to the easier way of living. It's a battle every single day. I did a whole video on self-concept, how to change it, what it is, how it affects your life. I'm gonna link it in the description because I don't think I really know how to do the little boxes. I'll try it, but I don't think I did it right last time. But just like it took time to develop your current self-concept to become the person that you currently are, it's going to take time to dismantle that self-concept and shift it into one that serves you, that serves this new version of you, that serves you in this new season of your life. There is power in acting like the person that you want to become before you're even there yet. And I know that it feels so weird and impostery and very misaligned when the person that you want to become is so far off from the person that you are now. But even if it is so far off base, you still have to act like that person. Act like that person, act like you're living the life that you want to live, have gratitude, and fully embody everything about that life, about that person. Start gaslighting yourself into believing that that is your reality, because as you know, your brain does not know the difference between what you tell it and what your reality is. So the more that you act as if that is your life, that is who you are now, the more whatever higher power you believe in will start affirming that to you and drawing in all of these experiences, opportunities, everything that aligns with the life that you are essentially pretending like you're living. Transformation is not sexy. It's not sexy. It's very quiet. It's very lonely. It's sad sometimes. It's scary sometimes. It's really frustrating. It's weird. You're in this weird void where you're not your old self. You're not your new self. You're going through everything that made your old self tick and trying to essentially like destroy the village, ruin it, ruin everything that made your old self you, because none of those things have served you. You're in the place that you're in, the place that you're not happy with, because of everything that you've been speaking to yourself, every single habit that you've had, every mindset that you have. They're not working. You have to transform, or else nothing's going to change for you. I understand that everybody wants instant gratification. I too love instant gratification. Everyone wants to see rewards. I too love rewards. Everybody wants that dopamine spike. Same. We're all addicted to dopamine. It's so bad. That's why we can never focus on one thing. That's why shiny object syndrome, I believe, is literally an epidemic. Whether it's with pursuing goals, relationships, oh my God. In the lifestyle, we always crave the new, the exciting, the thing that is going to immediately show us what we want to see. But that's just not how your transformation, how your journey is going to go, unfortunately. There are going to be days where you have major breakthroughs and you feel so rewarded and everything is working out for you. But more times than not, your days are going to be kind of boring. You're not going to want to put in the effort. You're going to want to go back to literally any one of those habits or those mindsets or those people that used to be in your life. But those days are the days when your higher power is really testing you. And you can also refer to the best version of yourself as your higher power. It doesn't have to be a God, a universe, a source, a mother, whatever. In some religions, the best version of you is the higher power. So believe in whatever you want to believe in, whatever resonates with you. But those are the days where you'll see if you're really committed to living this new life or if you're just interested. Are you really committed to putting in the work to become the best version of yourself and transform your life? Or does it just sound like it would be a good idea? But all of this talk of the boring days and the non-sexy transformation sounds like a sacrifice. Those days are when your why is so important. Those boring ass days when all of you just wants to go back. That is when your clarity is important. That is when you put your head down and you do it anyways, because you know how good it's going to feel when you reach your goal. That feeling of reaching your goal is going to be a million times better than any kind of dopamine spike you could have gotten from scrolling. You're really going to waste 5 hours of your day doom scrolling versus working towards your goal, the goal that is going to change your life forever? I feel like when you put it like that, this isn't even an option. How could it be? If it costs you peace, clarity, or energy, it's too expensive, period. You need to be treating these things like they are your most valuable commodity plus time, because they are. There's no space for drama in this chapter. There is no space for unresolved relationships in this chapter. There's no space for people pleasing in this chapter. There's only space for you, your healing, your growth, and all of that requires boundaries. If people cannot understand that, if people cannot understand that you need to set boundaries for yourself, then that's their problem. You're not here to explain. You're not here to make nice. You're not here to keep the peace, because the majority of the time when you try to keep somebody else's peace, what do? You pay the price of your own peace. If something throws you off more than twice, it's your sign to either remove yourself or distance yourself. I tend to lean a little bit towards the remove yourself side, but that is entirely up to you. When you reemerge from your little locked in cocoon, from your little intentional isolation, you are not going to be the same person, but this new you needs continuous nurturing. You still need to practice the mundane routines that are actually the thing that gets you to where you want to be, and you need to protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. The journey is constant, and you will always be healing and learning and growing, and it's really important that you learn to appreciate and love the journey, because that's kind of where the magic happens. The goal is beautiful. When you get to the quote unquote end, it's beautiful, but there really is no end. Life is just a constant transformation. There's always something happening. There's always something you need to work on within yourself. There's always a new goal. There's always a new milestone to reach. There's always something. Your life is just one big journey. If you don't love the journey, how are you supposed to love your life? Let this be the season that you finally stop talking about the life that you want to live and actually start building it. Please comment down below and tell me what some of your goals are so that we can all hold you accountable. I know that you're ready. You wouldn't be watching this video if you weren't ready. You just need to stop postponing and take the action that you've been dreading taking. One of my favorite quotes is leap and the net will appear. You need to just leap. You need to just take the first step. Go ghost, figure out what you want, lock in on what you want, and be ruthless about making it happen. You deserve it. I love you to absolute pieces. You know the drill. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up if you like me. Subscribe to the channel. Comment down below, please. I love reading your comments. I'm debating reopening Thrive Academy. I do really miss having some kind of community, or I might open a Discord. I don't know. There's options. But the first option is to subscribe to the YouTube channel. My socials, my programs that I offer, my coaching, my life audit template, and my other video that I mentioned, the self-concept video, will all be linked in the description. And I will talk to you guys very soon.